Hello and welcome to your reading. My name is Rowan, and I will be your reader today. We're going to be getting some messages from Spirit about what you guys can expect. I'm here to read for those who are in tune with the animals, the planet, the earth, and humanity, and want to make a difference. So let's see what you guys need to know today. The first thing I'm seeing is a rhinoceros, which to me is about like the end of a cycle. And then we also have, like a screw, and I'm hearing that you're fastening something into place in your life that's going to end a cycle that's been very toxic or very detrimental for you. But it's like this screw has been incredibly difficult to put in place, or you felt like Spirit's showing me somebody trying to like screw something in, but they don't have the tools they need. It's almost like they're doing it by hand instead of using a screwdriver or a drill. It just feels like this has been a very stressful situation, and you didn't have the resources you needed to make this easier for you. I have thoughtfulness in reverse. So some of the people who have been around you have been pretty thoughtless in terms of like the things you've been going through. We also have sincerity coming up in reverse and dignity. So throughout all of these people who are maybe not very truthful with you, not very caring with your emotions or thoughtful, you've remained, in your power. You haven't taken this to heart in the way that a lot of people would, which isn't to say that you haven't had bad days or really questioned yourself, but I feel like you've stumbled, but you haven't fallen when it comes to your mental health. And I also have protection in reverse. So this has been a tough period for you, especially with your prosperity, but that is going to be changing with patience here. A lot of you are going to be getting a breakthrough. Ooh, there's something behind prosperity. We have luck coming up right behind it here. Don't know if you guys can see this. There we go. Especially if you work with the dragons. And then we have abundance and bravery. So a lot of you are going to be getting excuse me, like a breakthrough that comes from taking a risk. Like this might even be a dream that you've had for a long time or a passion of yours, but in order to go after it, you have to go out on a limb and kind of like say, okay, maybe I'm not the most qualified, but I want this. I'm more passionate than everybody else about this particular opportunity, and that means I would be great at it. I'm willing to learn. Really lean into your spirituality right now, Spirit is saying. Meaning, like, do your luck spells, do your little rituals, your cleansings for yourself, all that good stuff. Especially, like, candle work, for those of you who do that, will be really beneficial for you. But they're saying don't focus on candle work to, like, bring abundance. Focus on candle work to heighten your work ethic, to strengthen you through the things that you're going through, to help you with focus. Like, do all the things that are around that, because that's where your magic will work a lot better. I'm also seeing here that as soon as I started the reading, there's a lot of, like, black smoke and a lot of gray smoke, which to me is, like, releasing negativity. My candle is also burning a bit weird right now, which it hasn't been this whole time, because I've been sitting here for a while. And to me, that's about, there's been some blockages, some interferences in terms of your mindset. And I'm hearing this is by design. Now, you might want to look into my last reading, because there was something about this is my design coming up, and there being some people who maybe didn't have the best intentions for you, or definitely didn't have the best intentions for you. Now, that's not for everybody, just take what resonates here. You've had a ton of endurance through this, and Spirit is saying keep with that. Oh my gosh, I keep losing my voice. I feel like this is an energy trying to keep my mouth shut, I'm hearing. Let's see what's coming up with this. Because I feel like this is relevant for you guys as well. Part of the reason that people have been, like, lying to you is because they want you to keep your mouth shut, I'm hearing. Oh my gosh, and I just opened to truth with Anubis. Like I said, your guides are helping you kill a cycle. They're helping to completely end this cycle of having to lie about things for other people's benefit, okay? Or even, like, half-ass the truth. But this is also the number 44. You have a ton of spirit guides around you. A lot of you may be aligned with Anubis or some other canine type of entity. Carnanos for some of you. my boy. Yeah, Kiernanos definitely. I have the snake here coming up as well, which is another of his animals. What else, please? Spirit. Yeah, my collective are a lot of truth tellers, in the sense that you might be the black sheep in your family because you tell it like it is. You might be blunt. You might be even neurodivergent in a way where you're just like, why is everyone mad at me for telling the truth? What the hell? We have the lioness here coming up with protection. You moving into a more, like a softer energy around truth is very important here. Meaning the more that you're willing to know that you're protected and trust that spirit has your back, even if things happen in the physical world because of you telling the truth, the easier it's going to be to create something new. Rhinoceros coming up here finally. And rhinoceros in this deck says moderation, and it's connected with number 32. So you may want to look into the number 32. I'm not a numerologist, so I don't know all of these numbers off the top of my head, but there may be something for you. I really like Joanne's Sacred Scribes website for that, so you can look into that if that resonates for you and you feel connected to numbers. There's also something here about, the rhinos being hunted for their ivory. Like, there's an aspect of the rhino that completely benefits somebody else, and it's like such a ridiculous reason to harm them and take from them. And this is the same kind of energy that these people around you have had towards you. You have some quality that they 100% benefit from, and they feel like they can reap it from you. And Spirit is saying absolutely not. With the goat here, you can't misstep during this time. I feel like you're divinely guided in the same way that, like, the mountain goat can take a step and not fall, or even stumble and not fall in these insane climates, right? There's a lot of wisdom that's being imparted to you at this time from Spirit, especially in your dreams. Now, I'm hearing for some of you, you might have had some really difficult or violent dreams. And I'm hearing that you are astral traveling, and there's certain beings that were put in place by, I'm hearing members of your family for some of you, or members of some of the groups that I've referred to in other readings. Take what resonates. That were put there in the spirit to try to prevent you from accessing your full wisdom and really getting in touch with, like, the spirit guides that you have, as well as past life forms, past life energies that you already have kind of stored in your soul library, or whatever you want to call it. Some of these things are usually accessed through the dream world, so you might have some dream interference at this time. Labradorite is going to be a good choice for you guys to wear. It's super protective. It's a really good stone. And it's beautiful. But I'm hearing wear it on your body, not just keep it by your bed. It'll be a really good realigning stone for you. And it's also really good at helping open the third chakra again. With the tiger and the beaver here, you might be seeing these animals on your social media, or, popping up in your daily life coming up here in the future. Also the bunny, or the hare. You were actually a really hardworking child, I'm hearing. So, like, some of you were almost like a child prodigy or like a savant in certain ways, and people resented you for this. Some of you were extremely gifted at math, or at mechanical stuff, like putting things together, building things, taking things apart, and it's really easy for you. Others of you here are very like your literacy was really strong at a young age. Like, you might have spoken really early. You might have been writing or reading things that were way ahead of where you should have been. Also hearing artistically gifted for a lot of people here, so it just depends on who you are. People saw you as having the potential to be a leader in whatever it is that you're really gifted at. And they strategized against you at a very young age. Like, you didn't see this coming. But Spirit's coming in like the orca here. Hearing taking no shit. Leaving no crumbs behind. They're almost coming up as like your whale pod. And they're like teaming up with you to form a strategy in the spirit against these people who have been putting spell work in place against you or putting physical barriers to the things that you need. Some of you weren't allowed to finish schooling or were prevented in some way from like finishing schooling in the way that you needed to. Like some of you may have graduated, but there was some huge thing that interfered with your schooling when you were there. That was by design, I'm hearing. It was to prevent you from cooperating with others, from networking. Okay. And that's going to be removed. For a lot of you, either you're going to not need the opportunity that was denied to you, or you're going to get a second chance at this. And it's because you work very hard. So don't give up. If you've been feeling like your willpower is waning at this time, work on your solar plexus. Work on the part of you that needs self-confidence. Lean into that. For those of you who have... Oh my goodness. Excuse me 1 second. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I had to clear my throat again. Somebody really doesn't want me talking about this. Because I haven't had these issues all day. But for those of you with Capricorn placements, you may want to take a look at your chart and do some workings around protecting those placements. Those placements are very strong for you, and there's people in your life who knew that about you and tried to like drain your willpower so that they could use it to work towards things. Meaning like you become more stagnant and find it harder and harder to focus and work, but the people around you are suddenly like powerhouses at working, and they were never like that before. So look at that. Take a look at that. We also have the raven. Ravens and crows are very powerful for you guys. If you see them, they're messengers to let you know that something is happening in the spirit and to pay attention. They also cast protection over your home, I'm hearing. So for a lot of you, there's like an energy grid around your home or in your neighborhood that the crows and ravens, and I'm also hearing owls, are putting into place for you. Cardinals as well. What is this bird? It's some kind of bird that's blue colored. It's not a bluebird. Okay, so it might be like a blue jay. But it has like a blue flash or a blue color, so that's going to be different for everybody. That might be why they're not showing me a specific bird. Depends on where you live. But look for that blue flash, because if you see that, that means that Spirit wants you to open up about something, talk about it. And the thing that it is for you will be something that's been on your mind that you feel hesitant about talking about. So you can pay attention to that. Okay, they want me to switch decks. Thank you, Spirit. What else? Which one, please? This one? Okay. What else, please? I'm seeing coins. Somebody here might collect rare coins or something. Something about coins. Okay, we have this card coming out again. It's like a chalk outline. For you guys, I feel that this card, and this came up in a previous reading as well, but this card is about feeling like a shell of yourself after a lot of different things have happened. I am hearing that for some of you, there was an attempt on your life in some way. Either spiritually, and in some other timeline, you're literally not there anymore. Or it could be physical for a small group of you as well. So if you feel like there's a part of you that's grieving or really confused and lost, Spirit wants you to know that there's actually a separate timeline where this attempt was successful. Because the timeline that you are currently on is a very strong one. You're making a lot of progress in this timeline, and there's other aspects of you that are lost. So go in, this is very strange, but go into meditation and ask your guides and your helpers and protectors to help you consolidate your energy, because there are aspects of you that were put into like a maze or a labyrinth, okay? And it's really gonna help you to like get that focus back that you've been lacking. And again, that's not for everybody. That's for those of you who feel the truth of that in your soul, okay? But there's a lot of us, especially in this collective, that have gone through some really tragic and intense stuff at the hands of some other people. which is a big part of why I was called to sort of change my direction and do more readings like this instead of, you know, awakening your spiritual gifts. Which I still do, but I think it's important that we get out of the labyrinth, right? Okay, there's something about travel for you guys here. You're traveling in the dream world. If you've had dreams of falling, flying, yeah, flying without wings, I didn't even see this. Let's see what this card looks like. Or even like changing your appearance or shapeshifting in some way. It means that you're in the middle of this rebirth of yourself. You are clearing out old aspects of yourself. You're consolidating the parts of you that have been scattered in spirit. And you're going to come back into a more powerful force. Oh, this morning, this just popped back into my head, but this morning I was seeing the seahorse. Seahorses are going to be important for some of you here. So you might be seeing them, or something about seahorses might come up for you. And for some of you, this has to do with parenting and feeling like your partner hasn't done enough, or having wounds around that, and you've done most of the caretaking yourself. Or conversely, like, your child may have been taken away from you for some, and this is about, like, an imbalance, all right? Because I'm thinking of the male seahorse, like, carrying the babies, like, doing most of the effort here. There's something as well about being cast adrift that I'm seeing with the seahorse, where it's like this very ornate looking seahorse, and it's like cast off the reef, and it doesn't have anything to hold on to, and it's just like free floating. And, you know, spiritually and emotionally, Spirit's saying you need to build yourself a stronghold, and start with building that in your mind, okay? You might even want to put together like an altar or a physical space where you can focus on that and bringing these parts of yourself together. All these different parts need to come together so that you can move coherently forward, okay? Because just know that there's people whose goal was to make you go away and hide in the corner or cower from the things that you've seen and you need to talk about, or the things that you are like incarnated here to speak on. For some of you, it's activism. For some of you, it's like literally just your viewpoint of the world is very challenging for other people because I'm hearing you're so blunt. You are very, very tapped in, and you see systems of power that need changing, and you have no hesitation to be like, that's screwed up. We need to work on that. There's a lot of people who don't like that, obviously, right? What else, please? Oops. Okay, we have Geb with prosperity. This group today has a lot of connection to Egyptian deities, so we're going to read on that for a moment. We have Nifty, meditation. If I'm pronouncing these wrong, please let me know in the comments. We have Isis, faith and wisdom. You might want to connect with water if you feel connected to Isis or you work with Isis. We have Thoth, wholeness. We were just talking about divine wisdom, so it makes sense this is coming up. He's like the keeper of the spirit library. And again with Anubis. Anubis is a super protective energy. I love Anubis. Bottom of the deck, Amun-Ra with creation. What were we just talking about? Getting back to like freeing your creations, okay? So these are some energies that are coming up here that are present for you and want to assist you if you feel connected with the Egyptian energies, the Egyptian deities here. And if you follow that path, take what resonates, you guys. Anything else? Okay, for some reason Spirit wants me to name some names here, and I don't usually do this, but if this resonates for you, these could be people that are involved in your situation, people that you know, something like that. But I'm hearing Eric, Jake, Abdul, They're saying Nifty again, and that was just coming up here. So you might want to work with that energy if any of these connect for you. Otis. Leroy. I'm hearing somebody's auntie. I'm hearing like auntie. So somebody might be like seeing their aunt or something like that. Or an aunt may be very connected to your situation for you. Diane or Diana. Nikki. Nellie. We have Molly as well. Okay, for the person that felt connected with the name Jake in whatever way, I'm hearing this is a warning for that person. And there's something here about a phone call being important. And that there's going to be something said in a phone call that you need to write down or record in some way, because there's some kind of like, this is like a warning to either avoid this, or there's some kind of like lies that come out in this phone call. Something about that. It's like somebody's trying to mislead you or set you up or something. Anything else, please, Spirit? Okay, no, that's what I have for you guys. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. If you would like to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can find all my information below. You can only book through my website, which is elderbeingsintuition.com. I do one-on-one personal readings that are like a more specialized version of this that's just for you. It's a lot more specific than, reading for a bunch of people here. And I send those as a recording, like a voice recording, and I email them to you because unfortunately my internet's not very good where I live. So that's how you get those. And then I also do animal communication readings where I specialize in helping with situations that might be really challenging, like behavior issues that you can't get figured out or something like that. We also do soul missions, past lives with your animal, their likes and dislikes, all that kind of stuff. So I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.